everybody, welcome back to Burnt Church. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's a beautiful day here. It's getting a little overcast right now, and that's perfect, because if you can't tell, I've been pouring sweat. I'm sorry for the way I look, but that's just part of it here in the South in the summertime. Usually in the South, when you walk out of the house of a morning, you'll be soaking wet from then until you come in the house that night. It's just the way it is. So what we're going to do here today is I'm going to take you along on planting sweet potatoes. Y'all can hear the little cub here in the background. He's a purring like a kitten. Now, he's running, and I thank God for it. And we're going to use him to lay the rows off. So y'all come on. Hey, we're going to do some electroculture on some of these sweet potatoes also. So you want to stick around for that, and we'll see if it works or not on sweet potatoes. We're trying it on everything else, so why not try a little of the electroculture on some sweet potatoes? Might as well. We're going to be planting them anyway, and I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So y'all come along and we'll get this done. This left side is what it's looking like when I get done with it. You see this right side? I'm fixing to put fertilizer down that ditch, down through there. And then we'll build our hill over the top of that fertilizer. Right here is the fertilizer I'm using. That's triple 15. Here's how I do it. I just sprinkle some in this ditch. And then I'll come back with the cub and turn that soil over the top of it. Our sweet potatoes are ready to go in the ground. I want you to look how pretty these are. We got to get them out of there and get them into the ground. This is what we started with. These are our potatoes from last year. This will be our third year raising these potatoes. These are ones we saved from last year. So they should be getting acclimated to our soil here. I'll show you what these look like when we take them out of here. This one hadn't got a whole lot of roots on it. It's got one on it right here. But I usually put them in some water. Right here's some better ones. They've got more of a root system on them. They're deeper down in there. I'm anxious to see how the electroculture will work on these. Some of the stuff that we've been experimenting with, well, I'll talk about that in another video. It'll be another video coming out here pretty soon about the electroculture. We're almost ready to do our 2-week review on some of it. So I've made some of these electroculture rigs here, kind of like the ones we used before, but I've made one burntchurch style, extra special. This is a doubled wire with a twist. We'll see if it does any different. It's a lot stiffer. Somebody made a comment and said I might need to try a heavier gauge wire. And I kind of thought this might do it by doubling this. That's where the thought of it came up. We'll see if this one does any different than just the normal one here. Now this one is wrapped a 1/2 inch route. And this one is wrapped about 1 inch route, or 1 1/8 inches. So let's stick these in these sweet potatoes, and we'll keep up with them for a few weeks and see if any does any different than the other ones. So if you've got real sandy soil, you can take a stick and push these down in your soil. But here in Tennessee, we've got a lot of red clay, and our soil is pretty hard. So most of the time, I have to plant them like this. I would have liked to have had these planted before they got this big, but things didn't work out right, so we're getting them done now. Now I'm not going to water them right now. They're kind of in the shade, but I'm going to wait till later this evening to water them. I'll put these about every 16 inches apart. That's all there is to these sweet potatoes. They're easy most of the time. I try to keep extra slips growing, or if some of these that I set out don't make it, I'll have one to put in their place. Most of the time, if they've got any roots at all on the plant, they'll start growing, unless it turns off real dry. If there's any rain or any moisture, most of the time, when you put these in the ground, they'll grow. Well, we'll get these done, and then we'll put our electroculture in here. We've got all of our sweet potatoes in this row. It'll be about another hour or so and I'll water them in. We've got 3 different coils here, made 3 different ways really. This one here is about 20 inches long with about 1 1/8 inch coil. Right here is a smaller sweet potato. I think we're going to use this coil right here by it and see if it'll help it out any. Now this is the south side of this plant, and somebody had mentioned that it didn't matter about which side of the plant you put it on, and it may not. Just the people that I watched puts it on the south side, so that's what I'm doing here. We'll see if there's any difference between these 3 different ones on this row here. We'll move on down and put these other 2. Right here is a real weak looking one. I'm going to put this burntchurch style electroculture here on it. It's the one that I've got doubled, and it's about 18 inches long. We like one more. This one is just a coil. It don't have an antenna. We're going to put him right here on this one. So we'll check back on these in about 2 weeks and see if these that's got the electroculture biome is doing any better than the other ones. They were all fertilized the same, this row was. And they was all started from the same batch of potatoes. If y'all hadn't subscribed to the channel, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, and I would sure thank you if you do. We'll try our best to check back on these probably in about 2 weeks. And if y'all been paying attention in the background, you've probably seen some of the electroculture from 2 weeks ago. We're getting ready to do an update on some of our electroculture that we've already done. And if you don't want to miss that, hit that little bell icon and it should notify you whenever I put out a video. Well, that's going to be about all this video. We still got another row over here to plant this evening, and I'm about done for. This heat has done come on here in the south. But we're going to try to get it done today if nothing don't happen. They're giving us a chance of rain, so I'm hoping I don't even have to water. I hope it rains and I won't have to water these in. That rainwater would be a lot better for them anyway. But anyway, I thank y'all for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.